Hi, my name's Dr. Karen Joyce. I'm a geospatial scientist, a drone pilot, and the education director here at SheMaps. So I created a program designed for schools and community groups to experience a day in the life of a geospatial scientist. Now, this program is based so closely on what I do as a scientist when I'm out on field survey. So I thought I'd like to show you some of the links that I have between what I do when I'm here on field survey and what we get our students, teachers and participants of the program to do over the course of the program, and you can see just how closely they marry up with each other. So when I turn up at a school or a community group, a hall, a gymnasium, and that's my site for the day to teach this program, the first thing that I do is I check around and I have a look at where I'm going to set up my batteries, because batteries are a key component of successful drone operations. And so the same thing when I arrived here on Heron Island this week, the first thing I did as I unpacked all my gear was to figure out where I was going to set up and charge my batteries. Now in our program, our most popular program that runs for 2.5 hours, we start the program by discussing with students and teachers the importance of using technology in science, the sorts of things that we like, and the way we can use drones to make maps and get information. And that's exactly what I'm doing out here on the reef. I'm using drones and other geospatial techniques to get information about Heron Island, the Great Barrier Reef, how we can map it, and eventually how we can monitor changes over time. So our program that we teach is structured around a scenario that there's been a natural hazard and you're the first geospatial scientist on site and you're required to capture some images to give information back to the local council so they know where their priority areas are to go out and potentially help people if they're stranded. When I get to the reef, I already have a mission in mind. So I know where I'm going to go and I know why I'm going there. It's not necessarily to look about natural hazards, stranded people or anything like that. It's usually about mapping coral. But it's the same sort of idea. I know where I need to go and I have in my mind what my mission is going to be. And then I have to figure out how to execute it. The next stage is always about safety. So before any flight, I always make sure that I do safety checks. So this is all about safety to my equipment, safety to features around me in the environment, and utmost important, safety to myself and other people that might be in the area. So this involves setting up safety signs, making sure that I'm wearing the appropriate safety equipment, safety glasses, all those sorts of things, and then making sure that my drone is working okay. The propellers are all fine, there's no chips or cracks, they're moving perfectly well. All right, same goes for my programs with schools. Okay, so they have the exact same safety check, just miniaturized for the drone that their program is using, but same concept. The next skill that we go through is manual flight. Now I think manual flight is always critical because if for some reason I'm out there over the reef and I lose GPS, I must be able to call my drone back and manually fly it. Now that can be really challenging if there's a bit of a wind. So the best thing to do is to continually practice that. And I do practice it at the beginning and end of every flight. And the same for students. So they need to learn the methods of controlling a drone and getting it to do what they want it to do. And it's all about really a smooth touch with the thumbs. But this is a critical skill. And although it doesn't actually take up that much of the program, and it certainly doesn't take up that much of my week here, it's still something that you need to master. Now the final stage of the program is carrying out the mission to create an aerial survey. And again, that's my optimal mission while I'm out here on the reef as well. So I figure out where I need to go, and then I plan that mission. So am I going to be flying backwards and forwards like a lawnmower in the sky? Or am I just going to go up high and take one photo? Many different options, no right or wrong answer. It depends on exactly what sort of information you need on the ground or on the reef in my case. And exactly the same for the students. So they'll go through that process of drawing out their flight plan and then coding their drone to undertake that flight plan. Now the small drones that we use for in-school programs don't have GPS, but that's fine. They can still fly autonomously or semi-autonomously anyway. So hopefully you can see how we've used our program to mimic what happens in real life. So these are actual real life skills that the students are gaining. Now, if you go into more advanced versions of the program, we do start bringing in other skills as well. So we look at programs of drone delivery, we look at some more artistic sides, and then we even build in some maths as well and trigonometry for the older students too. So hopefully that gives you a bit of information about what we do, both with the schools and what I do in real life as well. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching a day in the life of a geospatial scientist. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you haven't already seen the other episodes, please tune in below.